Hi, I'm Lori Betz. Welcome to Golden Years and Happy New Year. Today I will be interviewing Ed Zackery from Medina County Veterans Service Office. So stay tuned and come on back.
Hi, we are Brunswick Brownie Troop 479. We love Girl Scouts!
It's easy to gain a little weight without really noticing. The same is true for your pets. Just a couple of extra pounds on them can lead to diabetes, arthritis, and heart disease. Visiting your veterinarian is the best way to help your pets live long, healthy lives. Go to petfit.com to learn more, because a little extra weight is a big problem.
Today we're going to talk all about veterans.
Yep.
And what the program is all about, what your mission is.
Okay.
I thank you for coming on my show.
I thank you for having me. I love to be here.
Ed, share with the audience what your office does for the people of Medina County.
Well, first of all, the Medina County Veterans Service Office, we're a state-founded organization, but we are a county office. In 1886, the state of Ohio deemed that there would be an office in every county that supported the veterans, and that was after the Civil War. So we were basically founded to help the widows and orphans of the Civil War veterans and the wounded ones coming home. And that's just kind of grown into what our office today, and today we're the Medina County Veterans Service Office. We have a commission that's made up of 5 board members. They're all veterans. They're made up of members of the various veterans organizations in the county, and they're appointed by one of the judges in the county every year.
So it's a one-year term? It
is a 5-year term. They're appointed on a rotation one every year for 5 years.
Okay. And that works out well?
It works out great because they are veterans. They're from the county. They understand the needs of the county. So they're very important and vital as to making decisions as to how our office runs and helps the veterans of the county.
Oh, very good. Okay, we're starting a new year, 2012.
We are.
Are there any cuts coming down the road for veterans? Any additions?
Well, we all watch the news and we see the people in Washington and somewhat even at the state level what they're trying to cut: retiree benefits, veterans benefits. Fortunately, at this point, the Department of Veterans Affairs has not been cut, and I don't think they will in the future. But everything's on the chopping block at this point with an economy. Let's hope that our veterans don't suffer, because they're the ones that are always on the front lines, and it seems like whenever budget cuts come up, they'll be the first to be cut. But we're hoping, got our fingers crossed, that nothing gets taken away from our vets.
Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. And in my world, the medical world, when a lot of people come into the store and they say, I am a veteran. Right. Well, right away, we just tell them that you have to call the VA office and find out what your benefits are.
Right. Now, we're not the VA. So we want everybody to know that. We want your viewers to know that. We are the Medina County Veterans Service Office. We are accredited to work with the Department of Veterans Affairs, and we work very closely with them. We do any type of paperwork that you might need for the VA, medical applications, compensation, pension applications. So, but we are a county office, and we're funded by the county.
So the viewers they would call you.
Right.
And you would steer them in the right direction.
Right. We kind of like to view ourselves as out here in the trenches with the veterans, helping them navigate the system of state and federal benefits. That's how we like to view ourselves.
Okay. Very good. I read in the Helping Hands newspaper there was a program started, I think, in late 2011.
Correct.
Okay. It's Coaching into Care.
Coaching into Care. Coaching into Care basically is, I guess I'd compare it to like phone a nurse or call a nurse, where you can call someone and get possibly medical advice. You can also, it's not just for the person that needs the medical advice. Maybe you have a loved one or a veteran that's come home and he's suffering from traumatic brain injury or post-traumatic stress disorder. Maybe you feel as though there's a lot of emotional problems going on there. So someone in that family or someone that cares about that veteran can call Coaching into Care and hopefully get enough advice or enough instruction to get the veteran the help he needs.
Okay, very good. So you did say your funding is government.
Our funding for our office comes from the county, yes. We are, if you want me to talk about that for just a quick second, we are funded by the county tax dollars, and that pays for everything in our office. And we run a financial assistance program for county veterans and widows of veterans in the county.
Including rent or?
We can help with rent, mortgages, utility bills, and food assistance up to a certain amount of time depending on what the needs are of the veteran or the widow.
And is it based on how many years of service?
No, it is based strictly on the need of the veteran and their income. And it's a combined household income. So what we like to try to do, we're kind of like a quick fix. If you got a speed bump, maybe you lost a job, maybe a wife's come down with an illness and can't go to work, and you can come in and we can help you immediately. We're a little bit faster than like Job and Family Services or some of the charities out there. We can usually provide that immediate assistance until we get you in a program that will be a long-term fix for what your needs are.
Okay. Transportation. I know a lot of people do go to the VA in Cuyahoga.
Correct.
Do you allow transportation to go from Medina to, or cover it, or?
We actually, the Ohio Revised Code mandates that we provide transportation to the veterans hospitals, to the veterans of our county. So we go to Wade Park in Brecksville, and starting in hopefully a month or two, we're going to start going to Parma when that opens up. Parma's going to open up a community-based outpatient clinic. So we go there every day, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Wow. We depart at 8 o'clock in the morning, and when the last veteran's done with his appointment, we bring them all back to our office. And then 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday, we go to Akron, and we leave at 8 o'clock to go to Akron also. We ask our veterans that they call as soon as they know that they have an appointment and schedule with us so we can make sure that we got them in our book for transportation.
You pick up at the home?
We actually, well, no, we don't. We leave our office, but what we do is the Medina County Transit will pick you up at your house, bring you to our office. We will take you to the hospital, bring you back to our office, and then the transit will pick you up and take you home, and we pay for the transit ride. So it is free for the veterans, so if there's those elderly veterans that can't drive or just don't want to drive downtown to University Circle, or if you just don't want to pay for the gas money, it's a free service.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It is.
That's good to know. And you might be the best kept secret too. I mean, a lot of people are unaware of what their benefits are.
We are. 4 years ago when I took this job, there was a lot of vets that I talked to that had no idea this office existed. And to be honest, I didn't know it existed until I was hired there. So with that said, we've did a kind of a quick marketing program within the county to get the word out. We've did a lot of outreach at the fair, at various senior centers. Mm-hmm. Just about any kind of outreach we could do, we try to get the word out there to let veterans know to come and see us. And I think we've did a good job. We've seen a lot of veterans. We've seen a lot more traffic through our door than we have in the past. And
you're out there too.
I am. I try to be.
You are out there. And we're both members of Medina County Senior Network.
Senior Network, yep.
And you're out there promoting.
Yep. And a large majority of our veterans are seniors, with the World War II era and now the Korean era coming into age too. And I always tell people, I say, well, if they're not a veteran and they're a widow, nine times out of 10, that widow is a widow of a veteran. So, there's that connection there. And sometimes we can help the widows too with various needs. So
they could just call your office and just say, how can you help me? Or
just call and ask what kind of benefits might I be available for. We'll usually ask what kind of needs you have, and we'll just talk from there. And sometimes we'll set up an appointment, or sometimes we can answer the questions over the phone.
Is it a long paperwork criteria?
It really depends
Democracy.
on it depends on what we're applying for. If it's a county benefit, sometimes the paperwork's fairly quick and simple, 1 or 2 pages. The state benefits are fairly simple also. When we get into some of the federal benefits with the Department of Veterans Affairs, we got applications that are 28, 30 pages long.
Wow.
And that's why we like people to come to us, because we know how to fill them out. We know what we're doing, and we take all that pain away from them. We get everything filled out, and they just got to sign it.
Very good. But it's worth it. I mean, if there are benefits there that they could take advantage of.
By all means.
We're going to take a short break. We're going to come right back, and Ed's going to tell us what else is happening in the veterans world.
Hi, my name is Tom Chimura, and I'm the Salvation Army Regional Field Representative for Medina County. And I want to thank Brunswick Area Television for giving me this opportunity to let you know that the Salvation Army is available to those who have emergency crisis needs throughout the year. And if you live in the Brunswick, Brunswick Hills, Valley City, or Hinckley communities, and you have a need with utilities or rent or food or clothing or prescriptions, or you'd like to get your children involved in a summer camp program or a back-to-school clothing program, or if you have need during the Christmas time and the Easter times, we want you to know that the Salvation Army is available. We're located at 2888 Nationwide Parkway in Brunswick, and our phone number is 330-273-9176.
Hello, I'm Tom Selleck. In every generation, men and women have come forward to fight for freedom and defend our liberty. Over 58,000 of them are named on the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. Join me in supporting a new campaign to build an education center near the wall to tell their stories and teach about the values of those who have served in the past and who serve today. Learn how you can help. Thank you.
Welcome back. I am interviewing Ed Zackery from Medina County Veterans. He is a 21-year veteran from the Army. And Ed, are there any scams involved with veterans?
You know, there's a lot of scams out there. There's a war going on, and it's a great time to give your money to help a veteran. So, you know, there's a lot of people out there looking for your money. And I always advise people, I said, if you don't know who you're giving your money to, then keep it in your pocket. You know, whether it's somebody that's collecting money out in front of one of the local stores for a veterans organization that you've never heard of or don't know anything about, I would do the research before you give them any money. There's a lot of marketing going on out there trying to get people to sign up for various veterans programs, and maybe they're charging you or trying to sell you something as opposed to getting you into that program, or while they're getting you into that program. And there's really no reason for you to be charged for any of that or to have to buy anything to get your benefits. We've even seen in some cases where they've wanted to charge people in order to get their discharges. And those items are free. And they can't get it any faster than we can or than you can by ordering it yourself. So if anybody ever tries to charge you for a service, just call us and we'll tell you whether it's legitimate or not. But if you don't know who you're giving your money to, I tell people keep it in their pocket.
Okay, having said that, when you get the labels, address labels in the mail?
Correct.
Okay, when you write that check, where
you know,
does that go?
Most of those organizations are legitimate. You have, you know, AMVETS, American Legion, Disabled American Veterans, Vietnam Veterans of America, Veterans of Foreign Wars, and there's others too, that are all congressionally chartered by the United States Congress. They are legitimate organizations, and most of those organizations do well with your money. We have several of them here in the county, and that money stays in the county if you give to one of those local chapters or posts. The problem is there's some organizations out there that try to mirror those organizations and look identical to them. There's even organizations that send you paperwork that try to make themselves look like the Department of Veterans Affairs. You know, maybe it's to sign up for a home loan or just send in your Social Security number, you know, so they can find out other things about you. So I just tell people, you know, be leery about it and make sure you do your homework. But most of the stuff you get, if the organization's, you know, chartered by Congress and one of the big 7 organizations, then they're a legitimate group.
And we all know that scams are there in any field.
They are.
So just beware.
You know, like I said, people want to help veterans, especially with the war going on, and they target our seniors because, unfortunately, our seniors are easy prey to veterans. They want to help people, you know, so they're a target audience when it comes to scams. But if anybody, you know, has any questions, they can feel free to call me. Our number is 330-722-9368.
Website?
Website, we are on the website. I don't have the web address. We have a brand new website, should be coming out within the next month or two. It's going to be Medina County Veterans Service Office.org, and that should be up running the first of the year sometime in February or March, I hope.
Okay, very good. Good information.
We're even on Facebook now.
Really?
Is that amazing? Yeah, we're
that
on
is
Facebook.
Amazing.
Yeah,
that
so
is.
we're on Facebook now.
And do you get hits?
We do. We got some friends and we got some likes and we got people that ask questions on there and post information. So we try to post the information of the various organizations that's going on in the county on there and whatever we think people might like to be informed about.
I just haven't gone there yet.
Yeah, well.
But it's a new year, so maybe I will. Maybe I'll think about it. Okay, what suggestions do you want to give to the veterans?
Oh, well, the first thing I could like to tell every veteran is, you know, if you're not enrolled in the VA healthcare system, you should enroll. There's a couple different eligibility, you know, preferences. The first one is service-connected disability. The next one is income if you have no service-connected disability. But I tell people, enroll and see if you're eligible. Because sometimes you may not think you're eligible and the VA has some information that makes you eligible. And the VA healthcare system opens up a world of benefits to a veteran. Everything from medical services to prescriptions to in-home health care when they get elderly and need it. Sometimes there's co-pays, sometimes there isn't. It just depends on what priority group. So I advise everybody to do that, enroll into it. The second thing is, and I have a lot of seniors ask me how they can prepare for maybe an internment into a veteran's cemetery or the VA cemetery. We have one here in the county down in Richmond. It is a beautiful cemetery.
Beautiful service.
Yep, it is. A lot of people refer to it as Medina's Arlington. It is a beautiful cemetery. I tell people you really can't reserve space in there. So if anyone ever tells you you can and wants to charge you to do that, you can't. You have to be, unfortunately, you have to pass away before you can get any room in there. But what you can do is if you know who you're going to run your funeral services through, you can get with that funeral director and give them a copy of your discharge and tell them what your wishes are. And that way the paperwork is there, and when you do pass or your loved one passes, they already have all the information they need. It happens instantaneously. Within 24 hours, they'll have you scheduled to be buried there once you pass away. But I also tell people, don't be in a hurry to get into the cemetery. Take your time. As nice as it is, it'll be there when you're ready.
They'll be waiting for you.
There you go.
Is that a pretty big cemetery?
It's actually one of the smaller ones nationwide. It's relatively new. It's only 10 years old. I don't know what the life of the cemetery was. I think it was like they planned out 70 or 80 years when they built it. There's room for expansion.
Oh, there is room to grow.
I will tell you that the director and his staff down there and the people that take care of that place, they love their jobs. And they do a great job in taking care of the people that are interred there and their families when they come there for the services.
Yeah, I did attend a couple of services there. Very touching.
It is wonderful.
Very.
And our veterans organizations who do the honor guard down there, and they do the salutes for all the funerals, they do a great job. And just about every organization in the county has an honor team that goes down there on a rotational basis. So, you know, those guys get out there in the 100-degree weather and the 2 feet of snow, freezing cold, and they're honoring our veterans.
Is there cost to the veteran for the burial?
Once the veteran gets to the cemetery, there's no cost. So there's a charge for the funeral, whatever the funeral home charges you for the funeral services and everything. But once you're in the cemetery, there's no cost for the opening, closing of the grave, the crypt, the headstone, all that is free and provided by the Department of Veterans Affairs. So it's quite a savings.
Now the headstone, is there a price range?
No, they're free. Once you get in the cemetery, the headstones are free to the veteran.
But I mean, is there, in case they wanted something special to it, or is there a basic?
There are some things that you can or cannot put on there, but basically it's your name. You could put a little, you know, my loved one, or you know, best dad, whatever. It has a religious symbol that you can have put on there. There's ones for the various religious emblems. And then if your spouse passes away first, you can have her or him interred there, and they'll put their name on the stone also. If it's cremains, they have a columbine, which is a wall where the cremains go. So for those people that get cremated, they can go in there. It's a beautiful place and a great savings for people that are looking for a cemetery.
And that's good to know.
It is.
I mean,
it is.
Maybe people aren't aware, veterans aren't aware of the fact.
I think the word's getting out. You know, we've tried, and around the state of Ohio, the Ohio Department of Veterans Services does a lot of marketing as far as veterans benefits. So people are starting to become more aware of the benefits that they're entitled to. But the cemetery, I go down there probably once or twice a month, either for a funeral or just to talk to somebody down there that works there on business. And I always take a walk through there. It kind of puts things in perspective for you if you're a veteran. So I like it.
So Mrs. Jones is at home. So she calls you up and she said, "How can you help me? My husband just passed." You guys are there what hours during the week?
We are there from 8 to noon, and then 1 to 4:30 every day except Tuesday. We open at 10 o'clock. And we'll even take appointments sometimes in the evenings if there's extenuating circumstances. I'll stay after or something like that, or I'll go meet the families. When we talk about funeral arrangements, usually we just talk them through the process. All the funeral directors in Medina County are aware of how it's done, and even the surrounding areas. There's a number they call. It's about a 24-hour process to get it approved. So they're aware of all that.
Okay, I know you did say you gave the audience some advice.
Right.
Is there a handbook out there that if they call you and just say, what are my benefits? Or
There's actually 3 handbooks that we use. We have a federal benefits guide from the Department of Veterans Affairs. We have Ohio Department of Veterans Services benefits guide, which covers Ohio benefits. And then we have a Medina County Veterans Service Office guide, which we'll have the new ones out in probably a month or 2. We're just getting them printed because some dollar figures have changed and stuff like that. So those are the 3 books that we usually give to people, and it covers just about every benefit you could either ask about or be entitled to. And if there's any more questions, then we just say, you know, give us a call and we'll explain it in a little more detail.
And the handouts are easy for the senior to understand.
Oh yeah. They're pretty basic, and you know, they don't get too far into detail, but it's enough to at least pique the curiosity that someone might think they're entitled to that benefit. So.
Good. Yeah. And if it's, I mean, they served in the service, I mean, there's no reason they shouldn't call and see what is available for them.
Not at all, not at all. Yeah. And some people, you know, unfortunately just aren't, there's no benefit for them. They don't have a need or a benefit that fits their need. But there's 9 times out of 10, we can find something that, you know, you can use, whether it's a home loan, a pension program, financial assistance from the county, or a fishing license from the state. There's a lot of benefits out there that veterans are entitled to.
How many veterans ballpark are in Medina County?
Right now we're at about 13,000. So the last census dropped us maybe 1,000 or so. So we're right at about 13,000 in Medina County.
Wow, that's a lot.
It is a lot. For the size of our county, it is a lot.
Yeah. Back in November for the Veterans Day, the Brunswick Eagles did a dinner, a first-time dinner for veterans. I mean, it was just so neat to see,
right.
You know, to have all the veterans in one room, and I had them stand up, you know, what service they were in, and they were so proud.
I got to tell you, you know, Medina County is a great place to be a veteran. You know, when I get out on Veterans Day or Memorial Day and go to the various townships and the parades or the functions on Veterans Day at the organizations, you know, they just do our veterans proud in this county. Every township has something for our veterans. And it's good to see, because I've been all across the country and all around the world, and it's not like that everywhere.
Well, kudos to Medina. That's awesome.
It is a great place to be a vet.
And I did attend several services back in November, and I mean, and that week was just like so full of veterans.
It is.
Which should be. I mean, that was great to see.
It is.
What if, Dad lost a really important medal to him. Can medals be replaced?
They can. There's a one-time replacement service that either the department of that service that the veteran served in will do. They'll reissue those medals one time. And we can help the veteran with the paperwork, or they can come in and we'll do the paperwork for them. It can take anywhere from up to a year sometimes to get those medals back. We know our services are busy with fighting a war right now. But yeah, they'll reissue those medals. So we kind of like people to come to us and do stuff like that, because if there's problems, we can track it. You know, a lot of times the vet, whether it's medals or whether it's a claim or whatever, they'll put stuff in the mail and come in and go, well, I filed for this benefit and I don't know what's going on with it. So if we filed it, we can usually look and see where it's at in the process and get the answers the vet wants to know. But it does take a while. We're happy to get vets their medals.
Awesome. Very good. Well, Ed, thank you so much for joining me
Gloria,
today.
thank you for having me. Always a pleasure.
And audience, if you have any questions about the veterans,
give us a call. One note I do want to put out there is the phone number for Coaching Info Care. I didn't mention that. It is 1-888-823-7458. And that is a VA number for the Department of Veterans Affairs. If you know a loved one that's a vet that needs help, give them a call.
awesome.
Who?
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us this month, and come on back in February.
Coming home can be hard if you're a veteran of Iraq or Afghanistan. You may feel like you're all alone, but you're not alone. At iava.org, your fellow vets are all around you. Join our free online community, get the resources you need, and connect to other vets who know where you're coming from. iava.org. We've got your back.
Hello everybody, I'm Mike Carbon from Totally Toned Personal Training, and today I would like to show you how to work the chest muscles, the pectorals, by doing a proper chest press. This is a great exercise. You will need some kind of weight though to use as resistance, so if you don't have dumbbells at home, perhaps try using 16-ounce cans and such. 16-ounce can equals about 1 pound of extra resistance for you. All right, you ready to go, Barbara?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Okay, we got our dumbbells here. We're gonna go ahead and lay back with our feet flat on the ground, shoulder width apart. All right, now we wanna have our shoulders nice and squared up on the ground here. All we're going to do is put our elbows out to the side, making our arms become an extension of our shoulders. You want to have your forearms bent at about a 90-degree angle, and we're simply going to press the dumbbells up, making our arms completely extended and bring them all the way back down to the starting position. So all the way up and all the way down. Remember, as soon as the elbows touch, you want to try to push it right back up to the next repetition. We want to keep the tension on the muscles we're actually working, so try not to rest too much in between reps. All the way up and all the way down. Remember, we want to breathe and use slow and controlled movements. Big deep breath in as you bring the weights down, and exhale as you press them weights up. How you doing over there, Barbara?
I'm doing fine.
Excellent, good job. Notice how Barbara has slow and controlled movement. She's coming all the way down. As soon as her elbows are touching the ground, she's pressing it right back to the starting position. You can tell she's breathing because she can have a conversation with me, and she could tell she's squeezing her core with each repetition just to get that little bit extra out of it. Now, real quick, guys, there is something important about this exercise. You always want to keep your body guessing, so you can kind of change and vary how you do this exercise. Since we are using dumbbells, you can go ahead and you can do each arm individually. Okay, everything stays the same, arm out to the side, and we're just going to do one at a time. Straight up to the middle, and then bring it right back down. This is a little more challenging because you don't have the other side to help guide you. But all the way up and all the way down, slow and controlled movements. Once again, 12 to 15 repetitions, 2 to 3 sets is a great place for you to start. All right, Barbara has it, and I think you do too. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.